Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you may be, whenever you may be listening to us. It is time for us to chat about seniors. Head coach Kyle Samson from Montana Tech Football is in the office, and always one of my favorite days of the year. It is Senior Day, and Coach, we have a busload of seniors that have meant an awful lot to this program through the years.
Definitely. We're celebrating 23 tremendous young men this weekend, and just really, really excited to celebrate them. It's just a special group that has meant so much to myself, to my family, to our Oredigger family here, and just great representations of our program and our university on and off the field. Tremendous football players, but better young men, and I really believe that where we're at as a program right now, and the success we've had is a direct reflection of these guys, and they've raised the bar every single year that they've been here. And as a coach, this is what makes your job fun, is you get to work with great young men, and they work extremely hard. They have fun. They enjoy it. They've been great leaders. I really believe, this senior class is some of the best group of leaders that I've ever had in playing or coaching in my whole life. I'm excited because, it's Senior Day. We get to celebrate them, but it's not the end. We still got a lot more football left to play, and that's pretty cool to know that they've earned that right. And we got to continue to get better. And, really, really excited about this group, and it's a really, really special group to me.
Well, Coach, this is I always look forward to this because coaching, not just the head coach, but your entire coaching staff get to know these guys probably better than most their families do over the last 4 or 5, 6 years, depending. We look forward to this, where in your own words, you can talk about these guys a little bit, what they mean to the team, what they mean in the locker room, memories, things like that. So, if you don't mind leading us into it, let's talk about this great class of seniors, Coach.
You bet. Yeah, we'll start just alphabetically by the first name, it looks like here. And so the first on the list, Andrew Almos. A kid that, pretty cool. Played quarterback for my dad at Great Falls High. Came here as a safety. Decided I think it was his second spring to move him to punter. And, he's just kind of rewritten the record books in every phase of the word, as far as the best punter in the country, first team All-American last year, been a multiple year All-Conference. There's no doubt in my mind he'll do it again this year. Hasn't had a lot of opportunities to punt the ball much this year.
Yep.
That's all right though. When he does, he's lethal. So many times pinning people inside the 15 to 10, booming the ball. I really believe Andrew's going to have an opportunity to play at the next level with his skills, and he's done a tremendous job of executing fake punts over the last couple of years. Yep. Just some huge ones that have been game changers. The Central Washington one last year, this year the game-ending one against Carroll. To have that type of a weapon back there punting with his leg, obviously, but also with the athletic ability and can throw it is pretty awesome. Andrew is a tremendous kid. A top grade student. I think he's a 3.9 GPA. And just a tremendous kid that I can't wait to see what he does, past this in both his football career and what he does in life. But really excited. I really think this is a kid that's got an opportunity to play past college with his talents.
Yeah.
The next one here, Angel Sanchez, one of the only 4-year starters in this group. He started for us as a true freshman. It doesn't happen very often, especially in this league in a DB in this league with the type of receivers we have. Same thing. Angel came in, as a true freshman, earned his spot that first year, my first year as the head coach in 2021. And, just been a tremendous player, all-conference player. He's played corner, played safety, played nickel. I really believe having a tremendous year this year at the corner position. Another one of those kids that just works his butt off every single day. Tremendous student. He was the first recipient of the Gunnar Kaiser Award for the top freshman way back in 2021. And that was a pretty cool award for him, which was based on, football but also academics. And like I said, I don't know of many people that start for 4 years as true freshmen in this league, and especially for Montana Tech. I think that just talks about, his type of ability, but more than that, just his smarts and his football IQ, being able to pick up the defense and just make plays. And Angel's a tremendous leader. He's one of our captains, and just had a tremendous career for us. But a top-tier leader, but a great person, and one of those guys that, you can always count on. The next one here, Blake Thielen, our quarterback. Obviously, me working, quarterback coach, work with him directly every single day. Just had a tremendous career for us. Pretty special. Just broke a big-time record. Career touchdown passes. Has an opportunity to break the season record the next couple weeks as well. And to be able to break a record that's held by, in my opinion, one of the best players that's ever played here at Montana Tech, that's pretty cool. And the kids won a lot of football games for us here. And I think you judge quarterbacks by wins. And Blake's obviously came in and done a tremendous job, won a lot of football games, and I think right now is playing his best football of his career over the last 4 or 5 games. And you think about all the big moments he's had, and the big touchdown against Georgetown to win the game was a huge one, and just been extremely efficient. Kid that, in my opinion, throws the best deep ball that I've ever coached. But has really grown since he's been here in his leadership role. He's worked extremely hard. Knows the offense in and out. He's like a second coach out there for me. I think he's having a hell of a year for us, and he's had a tremendous career. And I can't wait to see, where he leads us in the next couple weeks and into the playoffs. And for me, when you got a senior quarterback that you've worked with every single day, you get to know him really well, and my family, and it's been just really special to get to know his family. And it's a great kid that represents what's great about Montana Tech, and just one of those guys that's a great competitor, and a kid that just treats people well and treats my kids so well. I know my young kids absolutely look up to Blake, and it's pretty cool. And you have him over for dinner, and he comes over and visits KJ when he's born and all those things. I mean, those are special moments that make it real special, especially, quarterbacks, and we always talk about this, right? Quarterbacks, they get all the credit when things are going well, and they get all the blame when things aren't, just like the head coach. And, me being a quarterback myself, Blake's had way more ups than downs in his career, but I think the one thing about him is he's such a resilient player that one bad play doesn't affect him. He's always staying positive, and I respect the heck out of him for that. And we're sure going to miss him, and I'm going to miss having him in my quarterback room. But like I said before, I think the best thing about it is I know he's got multiple games left in his career here at Montana Tech, and we can control that. And, he's just been a hell of a quarterback for us, and excited to see where he can take us the rest of the season. The next one here, Brandon Spencer, a tremendous player out of Missoula Sentinel, came to us, in the COVID. He was a redshirt in the COVID year of 2020. And then same thing, played 3.5 years as a starter. In my opinion, I think he's the best center in the nation. He's been a first-team All-Conference. One of the most athletic guys for his size that I've ever been around. I really believe if he was an inch or two taller, he'd be an NFL guy with the way he moves. And to have that rock inside as a center position, to make the calls, he's been tremendous. Very physical. We can pull him. He's a great athlete on the edge for us, doing a lot of stuff with him that ways. And then a really good pass protector. Like I said, he's a tremendous player. He brings a lot of energy. He's a super positive kid. He's really worked really hard to get to where he's at. He came in as a freshman that was 350 pounds and worked extremely hard on his body, on his weight to get down to 315 and play at a high level. And that's a testament to him and his hard work. He's just been a hell of a player for us on the O-line and a rock for us, and a guy that, like I said, in my opinion, I think he's the best center in the country. And that's getting to watch him every single day and scouting other teams, but he's as good as they come with his size and his athleticism, and he's physical, and he's got some prick to him. He's one of the guys that always leads us in knockdown blocks every week, and you got to have that from your center because we play a lot of really good nose guards and 3 techniques in this league, and just a great kid. That same thing, to play as much football as he's played here on the offensive line, is pretty awesome, and his durability has been tremendous as well. Tough kid that just gets the job done, and him and Blake make all of our calls as far as protections. So he's not only a great athlete but a really smart football player that really understands the game. The next one here, Cade Wyatt. Another quarterback in my room. that's been with me here as long as anybody. He was a freshman in 2019 when I came here as the offensive coordinator. Just a tremendous kid. He's doing a lot of things for us this year. Been a backup most of his career here, but I think it really shows you what he means to the team when the last 2 years as a backup quarterback he's been elected a leader, and the influence he has on his teammates. He's one of the top leaders I've ever been around. Tremendous kid on and off the field. I mean, he's got like 12 degrees now. He's in his 4th master's. We're still trying to convince him to come back and play one more year, and he would do a hell of a job doing it. It's been pretty cool this year, though. We've used him in some Wildcat. We've used him at receiver. He caught a touchdown pass last week. Every week, just the ability to put him in different spots and use him. The fake punt against Carroll, I think, was one of the highlights of the season at the end of the game to make that catch for us. A guy that's like I said, a great quarterback, a great athlete. But the thing that I think that stands out with Cade is his leadership. He's a guy that's not afraid to hold his teammates accountable. Guys gravitate towards him. He's a super positive leader, and just an A+ kid. Him and his brother Cole that do the right things off the field. Like I said, extremely smart. I mean, both graduated high. 3.9, 4.0 engineering students that now have masters in engineering, and are probably going to get a doctorate someday. I'm not sure. But he's just a great kid that, going to miss the heck out of him. And, like I said, a lot of people, especially at the quarterback room, quarterback's tough, right? You only play one quarterback. There's not a lot of kids that can really stick around. You look at the way the world is these days and the culture of college football. He stuck around for 5 years, 6 years, and accepted his role. And a lot of kids would have left or would have quit if they weren't the starter. And Cade, just always had a positive attitude, works his butt off, and he's won a lot of football games. There's been in every year he's played a lot of quarterback for us. I remember in his freshman year, he started for us for a game at the end of the season against Northern and won the game for us because of some injuries. And so there's no doubt about it. I really believe that Cade could start for a lot of teams in this conference, and we're fortunate to have a hell of a QB room where, our 2 seniors, I think, can play for anybody, and that's pretty special. The next one, his twin brother, Cole, best linebacker in the league, no doubt, 4-year starter for us. A kid that, coming off of 2 hip surgeries this offseason, not many people would even try to come back from that. And I think we've seen the last couple of weeks, he's finally at the point where he feels really healthy after those surgeries, flying around, making plays. The absolute alpha leader of our defense for the last couple of years, just like his brother. Tremendous student, tremendous young man that represents what's great about Montana Tech, and just a kid that has worked for everything he's gotten. Extremely smart. He's a coach on the field. I'm trying to convince him to come coach for us next year in his first year back. That way we can get Cade to come back for a year. They both can be a part of the team. I'm giving him a little pitch here on this video right now.
I like it.
So if you guys are out there, make sure you guys come talk to me. But no, Cole is, in my opinion, the best linebacker in the conference and probably in the country. And what separates him is just his his day-to-day, consistency. He's the hardest worker on the team. Every single day he brings it, whether it's the weight room in January or it's a walkthrough on a Monday night in the middle of the season. Just a great kid that's extremely tough and physical. I mean, some of the biggest hits we've had coming from Cole Wyatt last couple of years, and just steps up. Always plays his best in the big time games, and people want to play their ass off for Cole when they play with him. He really influences the guys around him. He's made me a better coach, and his leadership, like I said, second to none. Yeah. And he's had a tremendous career, and same thing, like I've said with all these guys, excited to see where he can lead us on defense these next couple weeks. Yeah. Next one is Ethan Renner, a running back out of Laurel, Montana, a kid that's battled multiple injuries, knee injuries since he's been here. And once again, just like I was saying with Cole, he's finally looking healthy, and man, he's had some great games these last 2 weeks. A kid that a couple years ago, before he hurt his knee, was one of the absolute fastest kids in the conference. Really worked extremely hard to get back healthy, and a kid that has extreme toughness and talent. A very strong kid for his size. Same thing, one of those kids that never has a bad attitude. He's faced a lot of adversity when he's been here. and just a kid that absolutely works his tail off every single day, and it's paying off. I mean, he's having a tremendous year for us. We've kind of got a three-headed monster back there right now with Landers and him and Vetter, and what a way to go into the playoffs with three backs that can really, really play. And just the experience that he's had, he's been here for a long time. He understands the game. He's a very physical pass protector, but he's got the ability to take it to the house from anywhere with his speed. And like I said, it's really awesome to see the last couple of weeks him really feeling confident on that knee again and being able to make the cuts and the runs that he's made, and really excited to see what he does, these next 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Ethan, is one of the hardest things for him is he's fought through some adversity with his mom. His mom's been battling cancer. And I think that's the thing I most respect about him is, he's been there every step of the way for her. There's been nights where he's driven all the way to Laurel and came back the next day to make it to practice so he could see his mom. And I know he carries her with him every single day, and she's a fighter, and she's fighting, and Ethan and his family are helping her out, and she's a tremendous lady. And I know Ethan just every day he's out there representing his mom, and I know it's been a special year for him to be able to come out and play this senior year for his mom. Next one is Jade Morris from Dillon. A kid that has been a really stakeholder in our defensive line. A kid that works his tail off every single day. He's playing a lot of football this year, rotating from nose and three technique. Just a kid that's been through a lot here, stuck through. Not playing a whole lot early on in his career. And then coming out this year and really being a big-time contributor and a big-time player for us on the defensive line. He's played defensive end. He's played three-tech. He's played nose. A kid that I know a lot of the players absolutely love having him around. A really great teammate. A guy that, is heavily involved in a lot of different things on campus. But just a great student that's going to have a great career in whatever he chooses to do past football. But it's really awesome. One of those kids that, he hasn't played a ton of football up until this senior year, but his hard work's paying off, and he's a huge reason why our defense is having the year they're having. And it's really cool as a coach when you see a bunch of those guys that get into their senior years, and same thing, like I was saying earlier about like Cade. He could have hung it up, for not playing too much, but he stuck it out. Has been a great teammate the whole time, and now it's paying dividends where he's playing a hell of a lot of football, starting games for us on the defensive side. And just doing a hell of a job, and just one of the absolute toughest kids on our team. And like I said, really does a great job in the locker room, and a kid that I have a ton of respect for. And very sad to see him go, but he's going to be really successful. He's a hard-working guy, and I know that same thing. He's going to have a great finish to his career in the next couple weeks. Jaden McNeil, the next one here. Jaden's pretty special to me. I've known Jaden since he was a 7th grader. I got to coach him in high school. He was a quarterback for me at Flathead, and he came here in 2019. Decided to take his COVID year last year. Last year was going to be his senior year, but he got hurt in the middle of the year, broke his collarbone, decided to come back. He already's got his nursing degree, just a tremendous player, a great leader. Like I said, a guy that I've known for a long time. He's super special to me. Just one of the absolute hardest workers that we've got on our team. Has had a really good career for us at safety. One of our spark plugs, our guys that on defense gets everybody lined up, plays with extreme amount of passion. Not very big guy, but plays very, very physical. One of the best tacklers we got on our team. His first couple years was just a special teams weapon for us, and then has been a starter at the safety position the last 2 years, and really, really stepped up. Did a tremendous job for us, and same thing. He's had a tremendous career here at Tech. He's already got his nursing degree, which is obviously, this place has got the best nursing program in the, in the state, in the conference. And,
yep.
Pretty cool to have him, wanted to come back. He could have went and got a job and started working full time, wanted to finish his career out. And it's paying dividends. He's had a hell of a season for us, and just one of those guys that's absolutely one of our best leaders, and really gets us going in our spark plug on defense. The next one here, Jaden Downs. Jaden is a kid out of Pocatello High School. Had a great career, was a high school quarterback. I remember recruiting him, and we didn't know if we were going to play him at receiver or DB. He actually wanted to play receiver, and we convinced him, like, hey, we need you to try DB. He was a little hesitant about it, but, man, he's played a lot of football. He's been a 3-year starter for us. and obviously having just a tremendous year this year, leading the conference in interceptions. The Georgetown game with 3 picks with the pick 6. I mean, holy smokes! The next week he gets the Carroll interception right off the bat. Had a big pick last week for us against Arizona Christian. Tremendous cover guy, but an absolute physical tackler, and one of the best tacklers that I've seen at the corner position. A great kid that's, like I said, a high school quarterback that's playing. We have a lot of those on our team that played high school quarterback that are playing multiple positions for us now at Tech. A great kid that works extremely hard. Another, every one of these guys are great students in the classroom. A kid that could have graduated, and decided to come back and play, and he's had just a tremendous year. I mean, he's playing at an All-American level this year, and just really excited to see all of his hard work pay off. Same thing for early in his career, kind of more of a special teams guy, but played with some injuries early in his sophomore year, and then had the opportunity the last 2 years to be our absolute starter, and just done a tremendous job for us, opposite of Angel, excited to see what he can do down the stretch here as well. The next one here, J.R. Seawald, linebacker out of Cut Bank, Montana, came here as a safety, and then moved him down to linebacker. Was a hell of a player up there at Cut Bank and a wrestler in high school. Really had a really good career for us. Early on was a big time special team player for us. Got a lot of opportunities in the last 2 years at linebacker. One of the absolute toughest kids that we got on our team. And the thing about JR is he's so consistent. He brings it every single day. Works extremely hard in the off season in the weight room, and just a guy you can always count on. He's been a starter. He's been a backup. He's earned his way into playing in a lot of personnel packages on defense. Really cool for him to get that big pick the other week against Rocky Mountain College. But he was a pivotal part of our success last year. I think one of his best games in his career was when we beat Carroll down there to go into the playoffs last year. He stepped up and just had a tremendous game. JR is one of those guys that can play multiple spots for us, and it has been a big part of our defense all year, and a huge part of our special teams. I think he's a starter on every single one of our special teams. And like I said, just a kid that brings it every single day. Is a tremendous leader. Doesn't say a whole lot, but when he speaks, people listen, and I think that's a big deal. People have a ton of respect for him. Like I said, he's tough as hell, and a tremendous player that's been a huge part of our success. And same thing, he's going to be extremely successful in whatever he does. Past college. The next one is Justice Peterson. Justice is a DB, a safety out of Dillon, Montana. Another kid that was a high school quarterback for Dillon. Came here, started at quarterback for us a couple years, and then we decided to move him to defensive back because of his athletic ability. Justice has been a big time special teams player for us the last couple years and made some big time plays. He's got some good looks at safety this year as well, and really stepped up, and just a great kid, and a kid that's really close to me because he started out in my room as a quarterback for a couple years. Comes from a tremendous family. I remember on his home visit, getting that chance to have Thanksgiving dinner with him and his family, and his little brother Jace is one of my favorite people in the world. A guy that absolutely looks up to his brother Justice and is always coming to the games, and it's been a pretty special thing to get to know his family. A kid that, same thing, hasn't necessarily been a starter for us, but you wouldn't know that. Comes out and works his butt off every day, always has a smile on his face. A huge part of our campus, and he's a big part of the SAC group and setting up things for that. Yep. As a guy that volunteers for anything you ever ask him to, and I'm really excited. He's going to graduate, and he wants to get going like his dad and get into the rodeo circuit and start rodeoing. And obviously his dad's one of the best that could ever done, and his mom's a Hall of Famer. And I'm really excited. I told him, I said, we better make sure you let me know when you make it to the big time down at the NFR. We'll definitely fly down there and watch it. Let's go. But a great kid that just tough as nails, and same thing, right? A huge part of our culture, great leader, and just a tremendous young man.
Dillon legend.
Dillon legend for sure. The next one, Kobe Marino, Absolute. We talk about Dylan Legend. It's a Butte legend, right?
Just ask him; he'll tell you.
He'll tell you. He's probably down lifting, getting a little pump on right now. Kobe's one of my absolute favorite kids. Had obviously a tremendous career at Butte High and a huge part of their success. Came here and started out as a linebacker, and we were going to move him to fullback. Moved him to fullback last year, and then unfortunately, tore his knee. He was going to be a huge part of our offense this year and what we do. And so, unfortunately, this last year is an injury year. But man, I can't tell you enough about the kid. Extremely hard worker. Absolutely loves the weight room. Just a people person. He's the heartbeat of our team. A big when he has been healthy, just a huge influence on his teammates. That's the one thing I respect so much. He's been out this whole year. And still shows up every single day and brings great energy. Is a big time supporter of his teammates, and I just feel terrible that he wasn't able to finish it. And injuries are the worst thing. And but man, Kobe's going to be so successful. Just a person that lightens the room when he walks into it, and just is just one of those kids that you feel terrible for that he didn't get to finish it out playing. Knee injuries are the worst, but. A great young man that I have a ton of respect for, and he's going to do great things, and can't wait to see the successes that he has. And one of those kids just absolutely loves and prides himself from being from Butte, and that's pretty special. And anybody in Butte, America, knows who Kobe Marino is, and for what he does on and off the field. Just a great kid that represents Butte so well, and just so damn proud of him, and can't wait to see the successes that he has in his life. The next one, Kyle Torgerson, super special kid. Just had some terrible luck these last 2 years. I mean, in my opinion, the best receiver, one of the best slot receivers that's ever played for Montana Tech and in the Frontier Conference. Was an all-conference player as a sophomore. And then, unfortunately, he's had 2 knee injuries in the last 2 years. Came back, and we talked about this last year. Came back in 6.5 months to play in a Carroll game and playing a playoff game for us and help us win down there in Carroll. And then this year worked so hard to get back and honestly was playing as good as he ever played. Had a huge Copper game for us, and then was playing so great down in Carroll. And then after that huge punt return, unfortunately tears the same knee again. And just terrible luck. I think about how explosive our offense is, throughout this year, and I can't imagine what it would be like if Kyle was healthy. It'd be scary. But a kid that just has fought through so much and fought through so much adversity since he's been here. Had a tremendous career and only really playing in 2 seasons. And everybody knows, how good he is, and how well of a player he is. He's a tremendous young man. Obviously, been pretty special for him to be able to play with his brother Levi, and then be coached with his brother Cody. The Torgerson family are tremendous people, and I can't thank Kyle enough for all he's done. And I wish that it wouldn't have ended up the way it was with his knee injuries and the way that thing turned out. But man, he's still a huge influence on our team and a big part of it. He does a tremendous job. He's been a huge thing for our program with the social media and the graphics and the media stuff that he does. His talent is stupid. He's going to make a ton of money when doing what he does, and he already is. And making the videos and the graphics, he's got a special talent. Very talented at that. But I think his most talent is he's a hell of a football player and a great person. And going to miss the heck out of him. And one of those guys too that's just had a great influence on the young kids. We've got some really good young receivers, and a big part of that is Kyle's leadership and teaching them and helping him out. And even right now, same thing. He's not playing anymore. Shows up every single day, helps those guys out. Talking on the sideline to the quarterbacks and everything like that. I mean, just a great kid that you just feel terrible that he couldn't finish it on the football field. But his life's not going to be defined by 2 knee injuries. It's going to be defined by everything that he's done positively on and off the field, and he's going to be super successful in his career.
Big time.
The next one, Landers Smith, absolute, stud. Let's just be honest. He's a guy that's been here for 6 years, came here in 2019 with me. He was a high school quarterback in 8-man football. We started him out as a slot receiver. Then we moved him to fullback. He was our starting fullback for a couple years, and then last year when Counts got hurt and Winterburn was banged up, we moved him to tailback, and kind of the rest is history. Yeah. One of the absolute top running backs that we've ever had, and he's having a hell of a year this year. He's going to go over 1,000 yards here, I think, really soon, probably this weekend. Yep. 15 or 16 touchdowns. Just tough as nails, and him and Cole are really the two leaders of our team, and his leadership, his character, the way he plays, the way he holds himself accountable. He's extremely special. A kid that doesn't know anything more than just working his ass off. And he's earned everything he's gotten. And, just so proud of him from where he started in this program to where he's at now, and really being one of the absolute best players in the country. Same thing. All of his athletic talents and the way he runs the football and breaks tackles and catches the ball and pass pro, he's tremendous at that. But his leadership, I think, is the thing that separates him from anybody else, at his position and in this conference, in this country. He brings it every single day. There's no days off for Landers. There's no, lacking or complacency. You wouldn't know that he's one of the best players in the country if you talked to him, and you wouldn't know if you went and watched him work out for the first time. He works his butt off every day. He brings it. He affects his teammates. He makes everybody else around him better. And everybody else wants to work harder when Landers is in the room, and that's a huge testament to him. And excited to see him finish. It's been pretty awesome this year, the success he's had, and to be able to kind of lighten his load a little bit these last couple games and get some young guys in. But that's just going to keep him fresh as heck for the playoff push. And I don't know of many people that want to meet him in the hole one-on-one. And like I said, it's a great kid that's going to be extremely successful. Because he's just going to outwork you. And I love that about him, and just love what he represents and how he treats people. He's a great kid. Logan Kennedy is the next one on the list here. Logan's had a tremendous career, another 4-year starter at the tight end position, having his best year ever this year. A huge part of our offense as a tight end, as a fullback, as a receiver that motions in and out. If anybody knows the Tech offense, they got to know where the 80's at every single time. And, he can block. He's physical as heck. He's had a tremendous year blocking, and then one of the absolute best pass-catching receivers that I've been around. Pretty awesome. He's playing for his dad this year. Lost his father last spring, and what a way to honor him by coming out and having his best year. And he's a kid that's had a great career here. Some big catches he's made, but like I said, the thing that stands out to me this year, he's one of the absolute best blocking tight ends in the league, and he's not the biggest guy, 215, 220 pounds, but just physical, plays with extreme amount of passion, and every single day just comes out and is a extremely bright part of our team. He's kind of a goofball. Loves to joke and laugh, but man, when it's time to work, he works his butt off, and is a kid that just brings a smile to your face with everything that he does. And I'm so proud of him for coming out and having his best year this year as a senior. And same thing, just from what we ask him to do. I mean, he's got to know everything from receiver to running back to fullback to tight end. All of our shifts and motions, he's a huge part of that, and he does it, and he's about as good as we've got as far as a Swiss Army knife that can do it all. And a huge part of our offense for the last 4 years, and same thing, just having a tremendous year this year, and excited to see same thing with all these guys how he finishes, and it's going to be a great run for us at the end of this season. Yeah. Next one, Max Anderson. Max, same thing like Jaden. I've known him since he was a little kid. He played for me at Flathead. Was a 2-year captain for us at Flathead High School. Came here, has been a 4-year starter on the offensive line. Another just absolute big-time leader on our team, on and off the field. Everybody on this campus knows who Max is. He's a huge supporter of all the other teams and athletics. One of the absolute most positive people I've ever been around in my life. Max has gone through a lot. Lost his mom. A couple days before his first start in the Copper game in 2021. Just a kid that he brings a joy to life every single day. And Max has gone through a ton of adversity. and a ton of things have happened to him on and off the field. Battled through some injuries, but been a multiple-year all-conference player, one of the best O-linemen in this conference in the country. But just his attitude separates it. When I'm in a bad mood, Max gets me out of it, and I got to check myself because he's always bringing it every single day. Everybody knows that he's one of those guys that if you need help, Max is the guy to go talk to. He'll pick you up. Even when he's down, he's picking other people up, and I think that's tremendous. And just a great kid that cares about people, cares about the right things, is a great student. One of the most special people in my life. And like I said, I've known him since he was, I think, 6th grade. So I've been around my family my whole life. He's always beating up on my kids, and they're beating up on him. Him and Bo are always punching each other. But just a kid that represents what's good in the world. And I wish if there was more Max Andersons in the world, this whole world would be better off. Just, doesn't matter what's going on. He's always got a smile on his face, and he's always around to pick you up. And tremendous football player, but an even better person. The next one, Prince Hall. Prince has just been here for a short time. He came here last year in the spring, joined us as a graduate transfer. Already has his degree. Came here last January and has had a profound impact on our team, on myself. Came in as a big time recruit for us, and unfortunately had a severe injury in spring ball. The third practice of spring ball, tore his quad, and we didn't know if we'd get him back. We thought it might be the end of it. And he worked so hard this summer and this fall. Got cleared at the beginning of October, and, man, he's starting just to finally feel really good and pick up speed, and had a tremendous game this last week against Arizona Christian. And just one of those guys that has fit in so well with our program. He's enhanced our culture. He's a great leader, and someone that's, brand new to our team that grew up in Florida, a long ways from Montana. A
little bit.
And just a little bit. And just immersed himself as became a leader on our team, right from the jump, just with his work ethic, his ability to, impact his teammates, his ability to be coachable, extremely, extremely hard worker, has a lot of talent, but a kid that, absolutely has just immersed himself in Butte, America, and the Montana Tech campus. And I know he's earned a lot of guys' respect right off the bat when he first got here, and that's sometimes hard for transfers, new guys. It takes them a while, but man, everybody knew that he was about what the Montana Tech Orediggers are about. Came in, very humble, doesn't think that he's better than anybody else, being a big, Division I transfer, and just came in and worked. And, created relationships right off the bat, and just a tremendous kid that's had a great impact on me, my own family, and excited to see him, finish out his career here in the next couple weeks, and into the playoffs. And a kid that's only been here for a short time, but had a profound impact on our program. The next one is Safe Benjamia. Safe, another 4-year starter for us on the O-line. I feel like I'm saying that about everybody. Just a great player, a great leader, one of the absolute best vocal leaders that we've had down in the weight room and the off-season workouts. Holds himself to an extremely high standard. Another kid that's already graduated, that is a tremendous student, but a big-time player. He started for us on the right side. Now we moved him this year to the left tackle spot. He's extremely physical. He's really, really worked hard on his footwork and his technique, and really, turned himself into one of the best O-linemen in this league. Safe just brings it every single day. A great attitude. He does a great job of being positive with his teammates, picking them up. He's a great mentor to the young O-linemen. I know a lot of O-linemen absolutely look up to him because of the way he treats them. He's one of those kids on our team, though, that really takes pride in getting to know all the young guys and helping them out. And same thing, I've said this about almost every kid on here, just positively impacts his teammates. This senior class has set the culture for our team where the freshmen that come into our program feel welcome. They feel like they're a part of it. They feel valued. And that's because of leadership that we have. And Safe's one of the absolute top leaders that we've had. Like I said, just physical as heck. Just a road grader up front for us. But a kid that I extremely enjoy being around every single day. And he's fought through some injuries this year, and works extremely hard to get back out there, and missed a couple games early, but came back and just absolutely working his butt off and doing a tremendous job. And like I said, playing at an all conference level for us right now. And same thing. Excited to see what he can do. At the end of his career here, and he's going to be extremely successful. Past college. The next one here is Sky Stefanik. Sky came to us as a linebacker, and now has been playing defensive line the last 2 years. Sky is an absolute joy to be around. A guy that is absolutely the heartbeat of the weight room. He absolutely loves the weight room, works his butt off. He's a great leader, holds people accountable. He's one of the guys on the team that is always getting his teammates going, fired up. He's a good guy to joke with every single day. But man, when it's business, Sky will work his tail off, and just one of those guys that's been a role player for us on special teams, on the D-line, a rotational guy, but absolutely comes every single day. He's played defensive end. We're having to play him at some 3 technique this year as well because of his strength. Just a tremendous kid that, same thing, going to be a tremendous, person past college, already has his degree. A kid that works extremely hard in the classroom and the football field. But the thing I most appreciate about Sky is he's the same guy every single day. He's very consistent, works extremely hard, and not afraid to call out his teammates if he doesn't think they're working hard enough. And I love that. In the world today, that's hard. People don't like to hold each other accountable. Sky's one of those type of leaders that he has an extremely high standard for himself, and he holds that standard for everybody else. And I really believe that's a huge part of our success is in the off season. Sky's been a tremendous leader for us, and making sure that guys know whether they're a guy that's been here for 3 or 4 years or a brand new guy that's just showing up in the summer, that our standard's the standard, and Sky's done a tremendous job of setting that for our team. The next one here is Tom Walkup. Tom, multiple year starter on the offensive line, Bozeman High grad, just a worker, and a pleasure to be around. Tom has worked extremely hard, was a backup for a couple years, and just continued to work. It's been a 2-year starter for us at the left guard position. Extremely physical, a great student of the game, really understands scheme, understands what defense they're doing, spends a lot of time in the film room. Just a guy that you want to root for because he brings it every single day. And, just a guy that, just like the rest of the guys up front, doesn't care about stats, doesn't care about anything, just wants to come to work every single day. Does it with a great attitude. Another goofball on the team and loves to joke with me and give me shit. Would I appreciate that? A kid that, absolutely steps up. And, we do a lot of volunteer things with our team. And Tom's one of those guys that always steps up and volunteers. A great student off the field as well. And just a kid that has, I've said this about a lot of these guys, but they just put their nose down and work, and that's why they're successful. Tom will be the first to tell you he's not the biggest guy or the most quickest old lineman that we've ever had, but, man, he's one of the best because how hard he works and how much he cares. He's worked extremely hard in his technique, and a guy that he's going to bring it every day, and I know that our guys trust him 100% to get the job done every single day. The next one, Trey Vasquez, another kid that I coached in high school, which is pretty cool. A kid that was a tremendous athlete for us at Flathead High School, went on and was a college wrestler at Cal Poly for 4 years, and then as a grad transfer came back to us last year to transfer to play for Montana Tech, which was pretty cool. One of the best wrestlers in the history of the state of Montana. And, he's done a hell of a job for us at the safety position the last 2 years, has been a special teams ace, one of the best special teams guys that we've got. And Trey is a tremendous young man. I've known him for an extremely long time. A guy that, like I said, came to us as a graduate. Now he's going to have his master's after this semester, a 3.9 GPA, and just a kid that, he's got a lot of talent, but just a kid that doesn't have extreme size to play college football, a shorter guy. But man, he brings it every single day, extremely hard worker. Worked really hard, playing 4 years of college wrestling to come back and play college football. That takes some time.
It's a big deal.
And, just spending extra time in Coach Anderson's office, learning the scheme defensively, and then just, like I said, being one of those guys that we 100% count on in special teams. Had some big-time plays. for us on special teams in that Southern Oregon game, causing the fumble on the kickoff. And just a guy that is a pleasure to be around. A great teammate and a great leader for our guys, and someone that I know a lot of our guys look up to. But a kid that just represents us, and pretty cool, like I said, to have a 4-year college wrestling career and then come back and play college football for Tech, because a bunch of his buddies were here. And, I recruited him hard to get him up here, and it's been I know he would tell you it's been a great decision. I'm so thankful he decided to come here, and we could reconnect after coaching him in high school. And just a special kid to me that I've known for a long time, and a really special kid to our family. Same thing, another kid that's extremely close to my own kids, and, can't thank him enough for all he's done for us. The last one on the list here, Wyatt Alexander, one of the most decorated receivers we've had from Whitehall, Montana, just right down the road. One of the most explosive players that I've been around. One of the top receivers that's ever played here at Montana Tech. Was an All-American last year. He's on that same pace again this year. Everybody knows where number 6 is. Everybody's trying to double team him this year, and he's still having a hell of a year. A kid that just, humble as can be. The best receiver in the conference, and you wouldn't know anything about that. You just walk around, and Wyatt is about as humble as any person I've been around, with his talent and his accomplishments that he's had. Just an extremely hard worker that brings a lot of joy. And same thing, he was a kid that early in his career was, a backup to Trevor Hoffman, and learned from him. But when he got his opportunity, man, he ran with it these last 3 years. He's played every position for us at the wide receiver spot, X, Z, H, Y. We've moved him around, and it's been awesome just to see his success. And like I said, just a tremendous teammate. Sometimes in programs, or you look around the NFL, and if a receiver doesn't get the ball, he'll whine and complain. Wyatt doesn't care. He wants to win. And he's had tremendous games, obviously, and a huge part of our offense. But he's not the type of kid, if he only scores 1 touchdown one game or whatever, it's not going to bug him. Shoot, down in CVI this year, had over 230 yards receiving or whatever that was. And same thing. Standing out to me is that touchdown catch against Georgetown, right? The game winner with 12 seconds to go. And he hadn't had a catch up until that point. They were double teaming him, rolling coverage. And we always talk about, big time players step up in big time moments. And our All-American, made that play to win the game against the number 3 team in the country at that time. And what a way to kick off our season. I think that'll be a picture in my mind for a hell of a long time, is that catch, in the corner of the end zone, and seeing him put his hands up, and the whole crowd celebrating, and just really cool. And same thing, right? Like I mentioned that after that game, he didn't have a catch going up to that point. You wouldn't have known about it. He wasn't over there bitching and whining or complaining. He just kept going to work and made the play when it mattered the most. And he's had a tremendous career. He's had a hell of a year for us, an All-American. And I can't wait to see these next couple weeks and into the playoffs. And he's got an opportunity to break some big-time records at the wide receiver spot. And, I sure hope that there's no doubt in my mind he will. And a great kid from a great family, and someone that, has been here since 2018. He's been here before I was here. Had
Don't try and act young.
he had 2 big time knee injuries, and had a medical red shirt, and used his COVID year. A kid that already has his degree as well, but just a kid that just loves the game of football. If you told Wyatt to come play 3 more years, he'd do it. He's a kid that he wants to. I would love to. We can change his name, right? But he would play as long as he could. And you love those type of kids that just love the game. He loves it. He has a ton of fun every day at practice. You can tell the guys that absolutely love it, and Wyatt's one of those guys that every single day just enjoys being out there, and he's grateful for everything he's got, and super proud of him, and excited for him the rest of the season, and excited for him to in his career past football as well.
Well, Coach, you've put words to 23 seniors that I thought probably defied words somehow, so good on you for that, and thanks for doing this each and every year. Something I know I look forward to, the Digger Nation looks forward to. As a group, when you think of these guys and the impact that they have made, can you put that into words at all, or is that almost impossible?
Yeah, I just think the things that come to my mind are character, toughness, and leadership. I talked to him last night in our leadership council, and I mean this. I think at any level of football, high school or college, your success is usually defined by the type of seniors that you have. And this group has been with me and our staff for a very long time. And they've made their mark. They've set their mark. They've raised the bar of Montana Tech football on and off the field. Everybody sees what they do on the football field, the successes we've had as a team, as individuals. But the type of people they are off the field, to me, separates them and separates their class. I would trust these guys with my life, with my own kids, and that's probably the biggest compliment I could give anybody. They're so good to my family. They're so good to the people of Butte, the little kids of Butte. Like I said, they're the ones stepping up every time we ask people to volunteer. And when it's coming from your seniors, that's strong culture. When it's not them pointing to the freshmen to go do something, they want to do it themselves. They built great relationships throughout the whole Montana Tech community, throughout Butte. These are guys that, I don't think they realize the impact they've had on myself and our staff and this program. I think that at some point they will, because the stamp they've left on our program and on this culture and our family, I truly believe, and we use that word a lot in our program, but this is family. These are 23 guys that I'm going to have their back for the rest of their lives. I know they're going to have mine. I can't wait to see what they do, and I can't wait to hear about all the big-time events in their life, getting their first job, when they get engaged, when they get married, when they have their first kid, and they get, all those things. That's what's special as a coach, is those relationships, and these guys have done such a great job trusting me, trusting the staff, and really going through the hard times together. We've been through adversity. We've been through ups and downs in the last 4 or 5 years, and to see the, it pay off and to where we're at now in a program where we're competing for championships every single year, but doing it with some of the best kids in the world, with kids that are getting 3.75, 4.0 GPAs at one of the toughest schools in the country, and taking a lot of pride in that. Yeah. And just doing it with a smile on their face, impacting people. I couldn't be more proud of this group of guys. I really believe that this senior class is one of the most special groups I've ever been around. And I can't thank them enough for all they've done. And I'm so proud of them. I can't thank their families enough for giving me the opportunity to work with them. And like I said, I consider these guys, my family, and I would do anything for them. And I know they do the same for me. And as a coach, it's extremely proud to celebrate these guys, and it's extremely sad too, knowing that it's we're a month or two away from being done. But I know it's not going to end, and that's what's special about this group is we're going to stay in contact. They're going to come back every year, and I hope to be a huge part of their life, and vice versa. But I think that's what's makes this day even more special is, man, they've earned the right that I know this isn't the last time they're going to play on Bob Green Field, and we want to keep working my tail off to make sure they got many more games here, and we want to be playing in the next month and a half, and this team's got that, and it's not talent. We've got talent. It's those intangibles that you can't really quantify, but you just feel it.
Yeah,
right?
You can't teach.
You can't teach it, and it makes you proud as a coach. But more than anything they do as football players, just the type of character they have and how they hold themselves and how they impact people. I think that tells you a lot about people is, how do you positively impact the people around you, and how do you help people, especially the young kids in the community. And they're great brothers. They're great sons. They're going to be great fathers someday, and that's the ultimate compliment that I can give them, and I just can't thank them enough. And I love them. I really do. I love them to death.